Alrighty, YouTube, it's your boy Zxous, and we are back with another Nikke video. Now, obviously, I'm sure we all know Nikke has been a bit like, still because of this update. Don't get me wrong, the update isn't like dry or anything in terms of the character release. I feel like the character is actually cool enough, right? But obviously, with just a character like Trina who's only buffing up realistically one character in the game, there's not like there's that much to do with her. So I did make a community post last night basically saying, like, y'all give me your team. I want to use your Nikke teams and see what it's like, because sometimes I am curious, right? I didn't want to use anybody's team that I knew was just like the go-to meta team, but I did want to try out some unique teams from some of you guys, right? Because like I actually don't know what you guys use, right? I don't know if you guys are just using the best team or if you guys have created your own team. So we're gonna try a few of these teams here. Right, I already set one up. I don't remember where that comment is. I'm looking for it on my phone right here. So this one person right here, it's Kate of 19 and 99 said, it would be great to see more people check out Burst 1 Red Hood on like a Crown, Red Hood, Cindy, Rouge, and Scarlet Black Shadow team, where Scarlet Black Shadow and Cindy have their own dedicated Burst 1 on the team. So that's the first team we're going to be trying out, exactly, right? I have it built like this because how it's going to work is Red Hood is going to be the burst 1, and then it's going to go into Crown, then it's going to go into Scarlet Black Shadow. Then the second burst rotation, it's actually going to go into Red Hood again, Crown, and then Cindy. But then it's just going to rotate where Rouge is using her burst skill while Scarlet is using her burst skill, which is what I don't want. So I'm going to have to actually alternate this. I'm going to try to make it where when Rouge uses her burst skill, Cinderella is using her burst skill. That's what I want. So give me a second, let me fix this team. Alright, so I'm going to use this exact same team combo. What I'm just going to do is use Rouge's burst skill the first time, so that way it will alternate between Rouge, Crown, then Scarlet Black Shadow, then it will go into Red Hood, Crown, Cindy, then it will go into Red Hood again, Crown, and then Scarlet Black Shadow, and then from that point on it's going to go from Rouge, Crown, Cindy, and then that's how it's going to alternate. So let's try this team. All right, so we're here in our shooting range, and we're going to go in here where nobody's type advantage. Again, the plan is to basically use Rouge's team, or use Rouge's burst skill first, right? So that should be letter S right here. Let's see how good this team is. I mean, they should be powerful actually, because you have a lot of hard hitters on this team. Even Red Hood herself is a hard hitter, and Crown is a good DPS as well, right? So we're just gonna have to spam S and use, there we go, we used Rouge. Now it's gonna go, yep, and then Scarlet Black Shadow. Oh, okay, yeah, Red Hood is a burst 3 as well. I forgot about that, but it's not gonna actually use her burst skill. Oh no, it's going to use her burst skill. I'm gonna have to now alternate because we just used it. So now, boom, right? It was about to use Red Hood's burst skill again. You know why? Because obviously we did use her burst skill the first time. So now it's going to alternate between those two characters, right? Yeah, and I used Cindy's burst skill just now, so it should be, oh my god. Yeah, because I just used burst, okay, so now you, then Crown, and then it's gonna go to Scarlet. Yeah, and then what's gonna happen is gonna go to Rouge, then Crown, then Cindy. So the first two burst skill rotations, you're just gonna have to manual it if you are playing on auto, but then from that point on, you should be 100% flying, right? Because what's happening is now it's gonna be Rouge, then Crown, then Cindy. Exactly, and that's how I wanted to alternate. So basically, Red Hood, Crown, Scarlet Black Shadow, then Rouge, Crown, and Cindy. And I think that's a good comp, right? Obviously, Cindy is just too strong. And Scarlet Black Shadow is also a very powerful character, just not as strong as Cindy, unfortunately. Especially when Cindy has her own personal buffer. Like, don't get me wrong, Scarlet also has her own personal buffer, but in my opinion, this wouldn't be Scarlet's go-to personal buffer. It wouldn't be, right? Like, Cindy has Rouge, which is just her best friend. I wouldn't say Red Hood is Scarlet Black Shadow's best friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, Scarlet Black Shadow could hit a lot harder with other supports on the team, but hey, I do think it's still good because you have your main burst 1 and your main DPS and your second main DPS. Obviously, our main DPS being Cinderella, our second DPS being Scarlet Black Shadow. And I do think this team works. I think this team is very, very powerful. I think we can get good numbers with this comp. I really do believe it. So, let's take a look and see what's going on here. All right. Okay. Okay. Let's see. I am liking this team. Is it a team I would use though? Like, that's the question. Is this a team I would use outside of this video? Probably not, just because it's like, again, I really do like the idea of Crown, or not, yeah, I really do like the idea of Scarlet Black Shadow and Cindy on the same team. But ever since Rappy came out, I just don't see a reason why I would want to use Scarlet and Cindy over Cindy and Rappy. Like, don't get me wrong, maybe it's just because of how my Rappy is built, but my Rappy hits harder than Scarlet. Like, maybe it's different for everybody, but my Rappy hits way harder than my Scarlet, and my Scarlet does have elemental damage and stuff like that. Like, the only reason why I'm going to be using Scarlet Black Shadow is, one, if I need like a character who can actually clear mobs and quickly, because Scarlet Black Shadow is one of those characters that really can do that, or if I'm fighting a boss which is type advantage against, right? Other than that, I do prefer to use Rappy. I'm sorry, right? Actually, that's kind of a lie sometimes, because I do also like using Rappy as a burst 1, right? Like, I do casually use the Rappy Red Hood as a burst 1 character as well. Because she hits so hard as a burst 1 or burst 3, she's still hitting so hard, and I feel like it's just a waste not to use a powerful burst 1 like that, who is supporting the team, cooldown reduction and attack damage, and still hitting as hard as some of these burst 3 characters, if not harder, right? Like, I don't think people realize how hard that Rappy hits, but she hits harder as a burst 1 than some of these main staple burst 3s, and that's kind of crazy to me, right? And if you guys don't actually realize how much damage she's losing as being a burst 1, it's kind of concerning. The fact that she can hit that hard as a burst 1, mind you, losing like over thousands and thousands of percent of damage or whatever it is, right? It's kind of crazy in my personal opinion, but hey, let's see. We ended up, okay, that's a new record. So shout outs to this team. It's a new record, 2 billion damage, and we ended up getting almost a billion with Cinderella, who was not type advantage. And then 500, almost 600 million with Scarlet Black Shadow. But then if you look at everybody else, right? Rouge got 103 million, okay. Crown got 195 million, okay. Red Hood as a burst 1 got 202 million. Like, these are good numbers, but Cinderella clearly is just on top. Like, it's just what it is. I really do like this team. Again, would I use it outside of this video? Probably not, but I do like this team. Let's try one more team. All right, now this is a unique one, but somebody, Bio0012 said, okay, Exia, Sin, Privity, Summer Anise, Dala, basically a hyper Summer Anise team. I'm curious because I don't have my Sin build, and I might just get her to 555 for this video. You know what? Let me see if I can. If I can get her to 555, I'll do it. Why not? Right? It's not that big of a deal. I cannot get it to 555. Okay, let's just at least get her burst skill to 555, or at least to level 5, and I can't do that either. Okay, give me a second. All right, so I ended up building up my Sin. I'm not trying to be funny with this team, but I don't understand the point of it. Like, I have Exia's favorite item, right? So we're good about that, right? Sin, why are we using her? Because she increases damage taken to more than, like, to all enemies if there's more than 4, right? Like, I guess, like, what? I know Privity sure, Anise sure, Dollar I get 100%, but like, what? Why is Sin here? That's what I'm like. I'm confused about. Why is Sin on this team? Why is she on this team? All right, y'all. So let's see this team. If this team like fails me, I'm just gonna let the team go, because I don't understand the thought process behind this team. Maybe I don't have the calculations in my head for this team, but we're gonna see. He said it's a hyper Anise team. He said that's what this team is supposed to be, a hyper Anise team. Like, I get Exia, I get Darla, I get everybody on the team, but why is Sin here? Surely it can't just be because of what like she's doing with the, you know what I mean? Because like, I can see Sin, and like, I can use other characters that have damage taken guaranteed. You know what I mean? So why am I using Sin? Someone is gonna have to explain that in the comments, because I have never used Sin. After, like, I've used her one time when I got her in for a video, and I never touched her again. So let's take a look. Summer Anise is at 48 million. Let's see this quote-unquote hyper Anise team. That's not because of Sin. That's because of Privity, right? Bro, why is she on the team, bruh? Like, you can't convince, bro. I'm about to end this video, because what am I seeing right now? This is actually comical. Yeah, This is a joke. It's a meme team. Let me know what you guys think about the first team, and if you guys have any thought process about the second team, I'll use it in another video. But let me know.